is no doubt that change is going to happen within the IT industry, and the question you must ask yourself is, are you ready for that change, and have you aligned yourself professionally with the right type of organization inside of information technology to be successful in the future? And today we're just going to explore a few topics here as an overview, and we'll go into detail in later videos. So let's kind of break this down into who are these three primary areas. Well, the first, obviously, is going to be your OEMs, right? These are the guys who are making the hardware, the IBMs, the HPs, the Dells, and this certainly does not reflect any opinion of those corporations, but the OEMs are a big player. And then you've got the integrators. Now, these integrators are integrating what the OEM is selling. And then you have this group called value-added resources, and they're taking off-the-shelf applications, right? COTS, commercial off-the-shelf applications, hardware appliances, servers, like here, firewalls, for example, and servers, and they're integrating. Not only are they reselling and representing the OEMs to the integrators in most cases, and the consumers, of course, but they're also adding value by packaging and adding certain components together that work together, testing, validating, things like that. So these value-added resources, or VARs, are playing a more and more important role because they're helping both the integrator, the OEM, and the consumer get what they need from the technology. So all three of these, if you're dealing in IT, you're going to end up in one of these three. Now, there's a fourth that I don't list on here, which is customer support, right? So you may be there helping a customer. So let's talk about where the industry is moving. We know that it's moving to cloud or an automated type of infrastructure. Consumers are absolutely asking for this, and they want to eliminate or reduce the time that they get IT services as well as the costs associated. So the OEMs, VARs, and integrators are kind of supporters of this cloud, and the consumer is consuming this. But all of this is very dependent on security. Now, why is that? Well, our threats are increasing year over year. That's the one thing that is increasing. And these security controls wrap around and impact all of these folks, especially those dealing with federal government, state government, universities, banking, healthcare, and others within the industry. They all are dependent on security controls to keep them aware. So can you take and develop solutions that enable security controls and a consistent security platform across all of these platforms that are accessing information? So let's look at those that are consuming the data itself. So let's pull this model down a little bit. We've got the desktop user over there on the left, right? Now we have to secure that, obviously. And then we're going to have your tablet and your smartphone users as well. And so all the time, data, not only are we pushing data outside of our organization, but our consumers are consuming it from anywhere and any place in the world. And so we need to make sure that the data that they're actually consuming and the devices that they're operating on are secure. And so what does that mean? Can the OEM do it? Could. Can the integrator do it? Maybe. Can the VAR do it? Probably in a better position because they have most of the hardware, software, and packaging available to them. OEMs struggle with integration problems and widgets versus solution sales and how to compensate their users. So the OEMs are working through those struggles now, and I think they're going to be successful. Integrators are very dependent because security controls are very hardware and software dependent. So they're somewhat dependent on the OEMs, and they're seeing an erosion of their typical revenue source. So where does this end? Well, there are solutions to this problem, and tune in to other videos for those answers.